What was it like being in DC this week?
Very fun. Learned a lot.
Yeah, we got to see what it was like with both parts of the city and like the public area.
Yeah, it was really educational.
This week we went to a monastery and wrestled tomato plants for those with food insecurity. We went to an outdoor camp for children that are inner city and played with them and hung out with them. And then we also did yard work for those that needed help cleaning the yard so that they could keep their homes.
One of the wonderful things about these types of trips is that we work with different service organizations each morning and afternoon every day of the week. And these are organizations that have been in the city, usually for years, run by people who live in the city. And so they have deep relationships with the communities we're serving. So not only do we get to serve, but we get to learn a lot about the communities. And we're serving in communities that are happy to have us there, that are accustomed to these organizations working there. And so we really get to build meaningful relationships with the folks that we're serving.
This week we learned a lot about the nature of poverty in Washington, D.C. and what it's like to live with food insecurities.
Another really fun aspect of these trips is that every night we eat dinner at a different locally owned, usually family owned restaurant in the city. And so this week our groups got to experience Chinese food and Indian food and Mediterranean food, and all of us tried mofongo for the first time last night, with some of us loved and some were willing to try. And of course we hit the iconic Ben's Chili Bowl in the middle of the week and got to meet the co-founder and owner of that establishment and hear all about what it was like running that place through the MLK riots and everything that's come since. So it's really neat to get to support local businesses and eat really, really good food. What was your favorite meal that you had this week?
Mine was definitely the Indian food from Salt and Pepper.
Ben's Chili Bowl. I got the half smoked hot dog and it was really good.
This is hard. Ben's Chili Bowl or falafel.
Hey girls, what was your favorite meal that you had this week?
The burger I had at Ben's Chili Bowl.
Ben's Chili
I
Bowl.
like pita and falafel.
You didn't eat falafel.
Yeah, I tried it.
Ben's Chili Bowl.
Ben's Chili Bowl.
I guess the falafel.
Liam, what was your favorite meal that you had this week?
My favorite meal was the Dominican food. That was really
The
good.
Dominican food.
Yeah.
Hey guys, what was your favorite meal that you ate this week?
James? Probably the Indian food.
Indian food.
Mine was the Indian food from Salt and Pepper.
Mine was Indian.
Indian food?
Mine was the Chinese food.
Chinese food. What was something that you enjoyed about chaperoning this mission trip?
I guess for me it was having the chance to get to know this group of high school students so much better. I really hadn't known very many of them very well, and that has definitely changed. It's been lovely. They're a great group of kids. I mean young people, sorry.
I was continually surprised by their resilience and their sheer joy, you know, and optimism. Even when I felt a dip, they were just on a whole other plane, and it sustained me and gave me great hope for what we've got coming for us in the future.
The thing that struck me the most and that I enjoyed the most was watching the kids interact immediately with complete strangers that they met at Kids Connection and at other places too, and handle themselves with total aplomb.
Would you recommend a Chapel of the Cross mission trip to other people?
Something I've enjoyed is getting to know people from home that I didn't know before, and really didn't know at all before the trip, and so I've gotten close to them.
Something that I enjoyed was how every single person kind of made a connection with a different kid and bonded with someone different every day, and just kind of stuck with that person throughout the whole trip.
I really enjoyed the connections that we made with the people that we met this trip, and then also how everyone stayed open going into different activities.
What I'm going to take away most from this trip is kind of learning and like experiencing poverty firsthand, and like in a real experience, and like in a really real way, because before this trip I kind of only learned about it and like heard about it through the news or statistics.
I'm definitely gonna take home just like the love and connections and memories that I made with the people of the community here. I feel like when I was able to talk to them and interact face to face, it was much more like, it was very special, and I'm definitely gonna remember it forever.
Something I'm probably gonna take with me like back home is just like the feeling of like wanting to help people out and like wanting to serve, because we kind of saw like firsthand like poverty and stuff, and it made like me like more motivated to serve others in my community. I would recommend going on a Chapel of the Cross mission trip because it's incredibly eye-opening, and the people that we met and the experiences that we experienced are like incredible, and I will never forget it.
I would recommend going on this trip, more trips in the future, because of all the food, fun, and memories that you make along the way, and all the amazing people that you meet.
I agree.